Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and today, as you can see in front of me, all the calves, we're going to go and get them ready for the feeder. So you can see there one of the button tags. None of these calves have electronic tags, so we have to tag them ourselves. Now we don't have a taggers for actually putting these in proper, and the taggers we do have is just very hard to use at trying to put in the button tags. So we go for taking the centre out, and as you can see there, cable tie-in on. So all I gotta do, catch a calf, left ear. Tell me, my sister's doing the book work. So 3461, calf's number. I have to get the calf's number to register to the corresponding number to the transponder, so it comes up right in the feeder. Hold on. Scissors I left there. Where's the calf gone? Off that so the calves don't be sucking at each other. 22 calves to do there in that shed. So once I get them done, then I have to put them onto the feeder, and when that's done, then I have to feed them. So there's going to be an hour's work anyways here doing this. So the calves come in last night fed, so just doing this morning, so it's easier to do it when they're hungry because they'll stay. Sort of. So, scissors, left the scissors down again. It can be hard enough working with all the calves around. Normally we do them when we let them out of the trailer, but we were home late last night with these. Sorry, 3449. So, because we were home late with these, we didn't do them. Said we do them in the morning. Normally we do them then out the trailer. It's very handy doing them that way, but I was just late getting back to them, so. So everyone, I'm going to stop now, so I think I've enough recording of doing this job done. I put, as you seen, it was in fast forward, and I don't think I'll record any more of it, because there'll be might be too much of it. So next time I'll skip now to where I start registering them, and then I'll talk a bit more about the calves and how they're doing for us for the year, and a bit about them, and a bit on when we're feeding them as well. So that's it, so I'll skip on to that bit. Okay, so now we have all the calves tagged and registered. The problem I have now is some of them have started feeding, and the feeder is set up that it'll automatically register a calf. So if any of the calves had to come with the EID tags, or EDI, I don't know which way it is, but the electronic tags from birth with the proper number on it, they'd register the right number onto the feeder, and I'd start feeding them, put them on day 0. Problem I have now, because I've had to put button tags in them and I have to correspond the button tag to the number, the calves can go in and start feeding, and they start feeding under that on their transponder number rather than their number. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is find my password, go find them at the end of the lists. So all these, well, no, not the 29s, these are 21s. 1, 2, 2, it's not too bad. So then I have to permission and delete these ones so that I can put them onto the feeder properly. So then I go back, I start register, calf, I'll fast forward this bit, and then I'll start throwing in calves and fast forward that bit like I did with the first bit, and hopefully you're able to hear me on that. And I might talk about what the calves and how we're getting on when I'm feeding them, because that takes a few minutes. This is a bit tedious and you have to be paying attention to what you're at. So I'll change the sex on them. It'll start registering them all as males. So then upon the transponder number, which is 4122, back to page 9. So I always take down the last 4 digits because they're the ones that change. Start of it doesn't change. And I confirm. And then it's the next one. And so on and so forth. Take a few minutes to get it done. So I'll fast forward this now, or maybe I'll just stop it and cut it up because this is pretty tedious work. So there's putting these in. So I'll leave it at that, I think. And when I get round to putting in the calves, I'll go back to it. So let's pick that up now. So now the final step. Messing with the can. The final step of putting calves onto the feeder. Now they're tagged and registered. It's time to put them in two at a time. Fuck's sake, I gotta stop messing with that. And feed them. So use a spray marker to mark them so that I know which ones are fed. So it's mixing there at the minute. So we'll put them in. It's handy to feed them when they're hungry because they always suck fairly straight away. So we normally, when we bring them in, we might register them and leave them for the night and feed them then in the morning, because it's always easiest to get them on the machine when they're hungry. If they're not hungry, they won't really feed. So come on. Most of them are fairly straightforward, but you do get the odd one that just will not suck, no matter what you do. And in that case, hunger is normally the only sauce that'll get them onto it. Now that side, they were in since I can't stop feeding. Gotta keep an eye on them when you're feeding them. We find sometimes that I actually have one calf that won't suck off the feeder. He doesn't seem to like the big tit. But the other calves, the other side, they went on Saturday, and this is actually the first morning they haven't been roaring when I was in the shed. So that's normally a good sign that the majority of them have fed. I think yesterday I had 4 to feed, which isn't too bad. It takes, within a week, you'll pretty much have them all feeding bar any, as we call them, pets that just will not feed, that just being pure awkward. But it's not too bad now. Take a few minutes to feed these now. The biggest problem with our feeders and with the new feeders they have it sorted is when you're in, you're trying to see them feeding and you can't see the bowl to see if they're feeding, so normally you get out. But on the new feeders they have a screen pop in front of it so you can see. So what I do is I keep an eye on the bowls there. They're getting 1.2 litres for their first feed and they'll be fed every 4 hours. That calf there is finished. It'll feed them every 4 hours up to 4 litres for the first 4 days or something, and then it'll start winding them up to 6 litres, and then they go to day 40 or 50, and they bring them down then to 0 from that. So feeder is the only way to feed calves. I wouldn't go back to rearing them on buckets. It's grand, so it is. So that calf is probably finished now. Take a few minutes to get through them all now. I will say one thing. I'm actually sorry now I didn't do the red tagging and registering them when we were letting them up in the trailer, because Jesus, as you seen earlier in the video, they had them all around me, had a very captive audience, and it was quite annoying just trying to get the calves I wanted and all the calves around you. Very, very hard to work. But I know for the next time to do it the way we always do and not be lazy and call it quits just because it's 11 o'clock at night. So on the calf front then, at the minute most of what we have is Frisian, lock of Jerseys, a few Angus and a few Herefords. Not too many because the Angus and Herefords don't usually come till later in the calving season, so we wouldn't have too many of them yet, but plan is to buy a good lock of Herefords and Angus this year. more than last year if we can. Probably rear about the same number of calves around, try and get as many as we can. Now we've 2 feeders, so the 2 feeders will feed around 300 at a time, and we want more than that. We want to be going anywhere from about 350 to 400 calves is what we want to rear, but we don't want to be rearing any calves in buckets, so we're just going to have to see what we can get on them and get fed. So as we've done, this is the newest feeder. We have the other feeder set up in the hay shed, working away grand. I'll probably do a video on that later on when I'm bedding. I think it might be a nice video. So I don't think there's much else I can talk about. We're very happy with how the calves are going this year. These calves haven't been vaccinated yet, but we'll be vaccinating them in the next, once we fill that pen there. So I think the plan is these will stay in this little pen for today. We might see how they're feeding tomorrow morning and then let them into that pen, and then that pen will be full, and we'll start filling out this pen back up as far as the bulls then. See how many we can fit into it and keep the feeder running right. But can't remember what I was saying now. But yeah, no, everything's going great with the calves. The calves will be vaccinated when they move in. We used to vaccinate them the day we got them, but we were talking to a vet and we were advised to not do them the day we got them. Something to do with the stress of being moved and with there being excess antibodies or something, and making the vaccines less effective. So we vaccinate them then instead a day or two after. When we get the batch of calves together, it just leaves it very easy for then going for the booster shot and whatnot. So that is, I think that's really it. I don't think I've anything much else to talk about now. Yeah, no, I think that's it. If you have any questions or anything like that on the calf to beef system, please hit me down in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos on what we do, the calves and all that, please give this video lots of likes and comment down below. And that's really it from me, so please like and subscribe to my channel. That's it from me. Good luck.